Today we're going to be doing a refresher on the front of this house. Obviously the storm door for one is just done. It's got cracks and everything. So what we're going to do is replace the storm door, and we're going to paint the steel entry door a different color. So first thing I'm going to do is clean the door off. Then I'm going to tape the anything that I don't want painted, like the knobs. I'm going to leave the storm door on just for protection until we get that paint dried, and then I'm going to replace the storm. First thing we're going to do is wipe this door down. There's scuffs in it and whatnot, so you're going to want to get any dust or debris off. Make sure you get these edges really good, because that's where paint's probably going to fail. So you're going to want to wipe the whole door down, and then we're going to come over here. This is a dead panel, so we're just going to remove that. There's a screw on the other side. We're going to tape around this, and we're only painting this front edge. Now, if you look closely at this door, you can see it's a real rough texture, which tells me that someone probably used a roller on it. So we're just going to go ahead and use a roller again. The better way to do it, if it was a nice, clean, fresh door, is you get a brush and you paint all the panels like this one way. Panel up here going this way, so it looks like it's actually a wood door. But in this case, since the door is in okay shape and it was already painted with a roller, there's no need to really use a brush. So this is basically the first coat. Obviously it looks a little thin, but we got really good paint, so should be really good coverage with two coats. Okay, so I rolled it on, and I'm not really liking the texturing. I know if you put 2 or 3 coats on, it'll be okay. So what I did is I took a brush and went over it, which is absolutely fine. You can do that. What it does is it gives you the brush strokes, and if you kind of can envision like a wood panel here and a wood panel here, that's the appearance it's giving you. So if I do that, it gives me that wood panel type appearance. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for, because I didn't like the texture before. You can see the top I rolled on and then I brushed, and you can see the bottom, which is what I did right now, is rolled it on, and now I'm just going to brush it. Basically you're pretending the center is a panel, and then you have a cross member panel. And then you have another panel here. So you're trying to simulate a real wood door. And when you get the brush strokes like this, it's going to simulate the graining. Center panels, I just go down. And remember, this is one coat. Once you put on another coat, pretty much done. You might need one more after that, depending on your type of paint. This is actually pretty high quality paint, so you're probably not going to need that. If you had a lower quality paint, which sometimes happens, you buy a paint, you think it's good and it's not, and then it's a little watery, then you could have problems, and you might need 3 coats. But this is going to look really solid when it's done. It's going to look like a wood door with a really nice thick blue coat of paint on it, and it's far better than what we had before. Okay, the paint I got was Valspar semi-gloss. Usually for exterior you use semi-gloss. It gets a little bit more resistance to dirt and sun and such. Satin actually has even more resistance to sun, but since I have a storm door here, I don't really have to worry as much about that. Plus it's a lighter color. But this is close to the top of the line Valspar. So it's definitely good to go with a higher quality paint. If you go with a lower quality paint, you're going to get chalking in a few years. So, and the other thing is, this is the smaller quart size. You don't need a whole gallon. You can see I already got one nice coat of paint on there, and I got about half left. And I still got some in my tray, so I could probably even do 2 doors. But we're gonna let this dry, and we're gonna come back and do the same thing. We're probably gonna roll it and then brush it out again. It's a really quick way to paint a door, and you get that nice graining appearance. Okay, I'm gonna finish up this door here, and one of the things I'm gonna put on is this steel or a brass kick plate. So finishing up this door, you can see I got the final coat on it. Came out really good, especially considering the previous paint job was somewhat poor. But now I'm gonna add some details. I'm gonna add this brass kick plate. So should add a little bit of pizzazz to it, so to speak. Right now it's got the film on it, so it looks like it's all scratched up, but it's really not. So if I come down here, the main thing you want to do is you're going to want to put the kick plate slightly above the bottom of the door, and then you're going to want to center it on each side. And then the last thing you're going to do is mark your holes. Then you got to pre-drill it out. So you're going to want to pre-drill it with the I think this one is 30 seconds. Pre-drill it, and then they give you the screws, put it on, and you should be good to go. And then I'm thinking about adding a door knocker up here just to give it that extra look. Okay, just centering it and mark my holes. Quite a bit of screws in here, but that's a good thing. Okay, I got my drill bit here, and I'm going to, okay, got my drill bit. It's 30 seconds as described in the instructions. You can kind of see this screw. If you kind of overlay the two, it might be hard to see, but the screw is slightly larger, which is what you want. So when you put the screw in, it's going to not strip out. But first, I need to drill the holes. You're gonna want to go in about ½ inch. And if you push it in a little too far like I did, don't worry about it, because your plate's gonna be covering that. Just want to make sure your holes are on the right locations, or at the right locations. I'm using a standard multi-purpose drill bit. I don't have a steel drill bit. It's not necessary because we're really not going through that much steel. So some kick plates don't require this, but this is a piece of foam, and you're supposed to stick it right over, see if I get in there, one of the holes, each hole. So what that does is it creates a little bit of a seal, so if water ever got in there, it wouldn't corrode the screw or damage the door. So just remember to do that. Again, some doors have it, some don't. Okay, we're ready to screw in the kick plate. So I already started this screw here. So what I'm going to do is not fully screw this in until I go back to the this side. I want to make sure it's looks appropriate, looks level, looks square, that kind of stuff. And then I'll screw these in the rest of the way. So everything looks good. Spacing is equal on both sides, so I'm going to go ahead and screw the rest in. These are really easy to strip out too, so make sure you, actually you're supposed to use a screwdriver, but I'm doing this real soft, so just know when you get to the, when you're running out of room for the screw to go in, just back off a lot. And that way you won't strip it out. And honestly, even if you strip one out, there's so many screws here, you're really not going to have a problem with that. So, okay, all screws are in, so I'm going to go ahead and peel this film off. It's going to make it look awesome. Sometimes you get a little bit around the screw, you just pull that off. But